Leather industry in Kano is as old as the beginning of the Hausa civilization. Spanning over 1,000 of years, the industry supplied leather materials to the hinterland and also served as a major trade link between Kano and other parts of the world through transparent trade. It flourished for many years and served as an essential economic mainstay of the Hausa land. In Kano today, few tanneries struggle to operate at a capacity quite inadequate to feed the local leather industries, and this has no doubt stunted their growth not only in Kano but other parts of Nigeria. This is Majema local leather industry or traditional leather industry in Kofar Wambai area of the city of Kano. This place is believed to have existed for over 90 years. It is indeed a heaven for different categories of people, irrespective of their ages.
We grew up into the business of tanning, which we inherited from our forefathers. I think this place is over 80 years. And for how long have you been into this trade? I've been into this trade for approximately 50 years.
As you can see, all activities to do with leather processing is being carried out here.
I happen to see myself in this trade. My parents and their parents were also in the occupation. At least, I have spent over 15 years working here. I tanned a specific leather called tundra, a skin of python, just like this one. I also operate on skin of a crocodile and goats, among many others.
In spite of the serious decline in its operations and profitability across the value chain, some business people in Kano still see prospect in leather business and are determined to stay in it.
So now we increase the capacity. Instead for 15,000 a day, we make it as 30,000 pieces. That's our capacity for right now. But we have the plan to increase more, to make it like 50 to 60,000 pieces a day.
When we receive the raw skins, we are going to grade the skins by size by size. After that, we are going to trim. We want to make the skin to be shaped from the starting stage itself. From there, we will take the skin to the process so that the bacteria will put some chemicals to avoid the bacteria so the skins will not spoil.
One cannot overemphasize the value this industry adds to the economy, and it is worrisome that this once highly prosperous industry will be allowed to decay.
Well, you can see how many people you employ here. Before, some people here is not more than 200 people are working in this place. Now we have more than 500 people, and we want to increase our capacity. We need more people again.
For the leather industry to strive, government must invest substantially in the local content and re-emphasize on policies that encourage all players in the industry. Leather industry in Kano is as old as the beginning of the Hausa civilization. Spanning over 1,000 of years, the industry supplied leather materials to the hinterland and also served as a major trade link between Kano and other parts of the world through transparent trade. It flourished for many years and served as an essential economic mainstay of the Hausa land. In Kano today, few tanneries struggle to operate at a capacity quite inadequate to feed the local leather industries, and this has no doubt stunted their growth, not only in Kano but other parts of Nigeria. This is Majema local leather industry or traditional leather industry in Kofar Wambai area of the city of Kano. This place is believed to have existed for over 90 years. It is indeed a heaven for different categories of people, irrespective of their ages.
We grew up into the business of tanning.
Sometimes the distinction we make between the jobs we believe only men can do are nothing but limitations and restrictions we put on the path of women progress. In our society today, there are certain jobs and businesses that are distinctly considered as men's job. Commercial tricycle, otherwise known as a daidaita sahu here in Kano, is one of such businesses. However, a married young woman with 2 children, Mary Samuel, is apparently challenging this trend, breaking the barriers, taking full advantage of the business to better her own life.
The economic is not really friendly to everyone. We are all in the country and we know what we are facing. So when I saw the opportunity, I decided to tell myself that this thing, I can do it. Many works now, many jobs now, you don't get to have the time and the resource you get on this. So I told myself I can do this. That is what motivates me doing this. When we started, I have this routine. If I go to my office, I pick the keke. I go to the Wanda bus stop, to Bata, and I pick from Bata to Jaba. I took from Bata to Zoo Road. I took to Enkaba too.
It wasn't an easy decision at the beginning, but with the support and encouragement from her husband and loved ones, she said, I can do it.
At the beginning, he's saying, can you really do it? Don't go and start and you'll be shy. If people see you, say, I cannot do it too. But I told him, no, I can do it. And he encouraged me, if I can do it, I should push hard, that he knows one day it will be well.
Sometimes I do pass and see her on the road. I will like, hi, my friend. I feel so happy. Some of my friends will tell me, I saw that your friend. I would like her. We're very proud of her.
Well, all these are coming, but not without some attendant challenges.
Being children in school, you have works to do at home. Sometimes you'll be driving, after you are tired, you come back home and face home. I think that's the challenge we are facing, but I know we'll overcome that.
There is no doubt the income she generates from this business, big or small, will go a long way in meeting up some of her domestic demands.
When we are talking about domestic, and you get to leave everything for your husband, you see things getting difficult. There are things that you want to do. Maybe you want to assist parents. Maybe you want to assist even your husband at home. You see sometimes you don't have anything. You feel bad that you cannot assist. But doing this, I've been able to assist in one way or the other. Even if it's little, you assist. Then you see your home is being growing to another level.
Like in other walks of life, it is possible to develop interest among celebrity artists in the Hausa movie industry. Indeed, These guys interact on location for quite a good period of time, sometimes sleep on location. Sporting one another, therefore, is not a new thing. In some cases, it metamorphoses into deep love relationships and even marriages.
It is very usual, like I say. See no reason why it shouldn't be different from any other industry. So long as you are interacting between male and female, you must have passion, you must have interest in one or the other among yourself.
In
Kannywood industry, there are artist celebrities that marry each other. Example, Najashi Jakara, married from the industry. There is also late Rabilu Musa Ibro, may Allah forgive him. He marries many actresses. There is also Kumurchi, who marries from the industry.
Then there are cases that some of these marriages, for combination of reasons, might have issues. There may be an issue on the basis of role expectation in the matrimonial home. Lady especially has challenging roles to perform. One, as housewife, the other to attend to her rigorous filming schedules. Sometimes the problem comes from the man, who would have an array of other women to deal with on location who might equally be married.
Say for example, there is one lady that got married some 10 or 15 years ago, I remember. They look at each other. There are a lot of gossiping, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of expectations that this marriage will not last. Because they know the girl, she's a kind of person that she enjoys entertainment, she enjoys free life. So I don't think that marriage will last. I'm sure it's about 20 years ago. She is still in her matrimonial home.
In other times, the source of crisis has to do with command. I am a celebrity and you are. Who is in charge then?
One of the couple has to be ready to take orders from another. If either of them insists on his level, there is a problem. That is my opinion. Love relationship before marriage is always one thing. Marriage life is another. They need to understand this.
There are a number of issues that need to settle before contracting these marriages, only if they would continue to survive. But sometimes love supersedes any other thing.
Before you start talking about marriage, you should sit down and understand each other. If you understand, then I think whatever problem may come in, it could be minor and it is easy to solve.
People join the movie industry for different reasons. Some join for money. Some join to make nuns, while others come for women. In some cases, people see ladies in the film and decided to use whatever means to get them. My call on the people is that they should join the industry with good intentions. They should also get their parents' permissions and prayers.
Education is said to be the process of teaching and learning.
We are going to differently place.
The effectiveness of this process is often evaluated through examination. The purpose of this examination in any learning process is to assess and evaluate individuals for screening, promotion, selection and placement into appropriate positions of responsibility.
A child is sent to school to go and learn. And from the day of that learning process starts, there is a purpose. And the end purpose is the exam that we are talking about. And the purpose of that exam is to test the knowledge that has been acquired.
In Nigeria, the last few decades have witnessed an alarming rate of increasing incidents of examination malpractice at different learning stages, posing a serious threat to nation building. Many factors are attributed to this worrisome act.
Some students engage in exam malpractice due to the high level of laziness. So many students nowadays don't like studying, like they take exam malpractice as a shortcut to success. They just take exam malpractice like a way that they don't have to study, they just use that cheat sheet, or let's say another way to just shortcut or bypass studying to just succeed in the exams.
The standard of education is perpetually declining actually. If you go to our classes, the classes are supposed to accommodate 40 students, you see more than 100 students condensed in it. This will not allow for proper class management by the teachers. And this must facilitate cheating among students during examinations.
Exam malpractice starts right from our homes, aided by parents who has disallowed school authority to do what needs to be done to prepare these children for what is ahead of them, which is what? Examination.
The consequences are also equally, pathetically multiple.
The management of various schools, especially the public school, have zero tolerance to examination malpractice. And if it is caught, it is punished. And merely by expelling the students.
Most students, after being expelled, are becoming anxious, guilty, shame, all sorts of negative thoughts. Because some students even find it difficult to even get back or enroll into another university. And it's even hard for them, it's even difficult for them to get even a job.
As much as we cry about the rate of unemployment in Nigeria, we must also be worried about the caliber of unemployable graduates our educational system is churning out. Large portion of them products of examination malpractice.
Through examination malpractice, those who become professionals in such field as health or medical field, engineering, the life of the public is at risk. Because you cannot expect an incompetent person dealing with public life to perform good. He may end up victimizing patients, killing them because of incompetence.
The dire emergency we have in the education sector, therefore, calls for serious action. And the problem must be owned by all of us, since it is the factory of our human capital reserve. Singa Market, Kano, a prominent and major central distribution and marketing point of foods and beverages. From this market, huge variety of packaged foods and drinks are being distributed to various selling points across the city of Kano, just as hundreds of trucks on daily basis leave the market for neighboring states. However, some few years back, Singa Market was suddenly thrown into crisis when apparently a contaminated food additive, otherwise known in Hausa as Nta, believed to have been brought out from some stores in the market, found its way into many homes across the city of Kano. Consumed as an additive to fruit juice and other milk products, the substance left so many people hospitalized.
There is a case of Nta who happened to be even escalated not only Singa Market, but others market we have in Kano, especially Rimi Market, Sabongari and others.
It's a concentrated chemical used to add Irani. So mistakenly, some people start selling it as what? Sweetener. It's not sweetener. So before you know it, this from the source, the case is escalating, people are buying. And then this is associated with cost, the current economic situation of the country. If the sugar, people that cannot afford sugar, they're now thinking that when they get sweetener, it will replace the sugar.
This devastation prompted swift action by the government of Kano State.
Measures was taken at that time is a government interfere into the issue, really, by coming into the market, following the news they had on radios, some of the Hausa radios here in Kano, and they make a very serious action on it by busting into many stores where those Nta we are stalling them. Then after all, the people arresting that engaging on the issue been taken to police station and later charged them to the court.
All efforts to have some of the victims recall the circumstance failed. However, authorities are putting all their strength in order to avert recurrence of the incidents in the future.
The current Commissioner of Ministry of Commerce come up with innovations trying to identify and register all the suppliers, manufacturers, distributors of businesses in Kano. That is one. Number two, the legislation is also trying to make the amendment of the existing laws in the state. Not only Consumer Protection Council, the public health entirely, the food inspection laws. From the Consumer Protection Council, we are happy that we now have all the power and privileges to inspect food and food-related items, to inspect the manufacturers, even the manufacturers, suppliers, dealers. We do store food on the containers or on the, they call it courier. The food items, we do inspect it there. Where we are suspecting, we do take it to laboratory for laboratory analysis.
The measures we take is we appoint somebody who happen to be a commander, a security in charge. It's an elected person, as elected personnel into the office at the same time that have to do with those issues. Anything that is contaminated, anything that is not good for people to consume, anything that is not proper for people to take to bring it into the market is answerable to that office.
No doubt in recent years, the increase in drug abuse in our society is a major source of concern.
We find ourselves in such an unpleasant situation where majority of youth fall victims of drug abuse. And to my surprise, people do not seem to be interested in the cause and how to solve the problem. The problem of drug addiction is not peculiar to young men only. Even ladies today fall victim.
Considering the possible dangers faced by the society as the population indulge in drug abuse, much need to be done to bring the menace to bearable minimum. National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency conduct a lot of activities to checkmate the act. Actions such as creating awareness through public lecture, sharing pamphlets, embarking on road work, rehabilitation of victims are among effective strategies carried out.
In terms of the prosecution, within the period under review, we were able to secure conviction on 111 persons. So we currently have 126.
Societal factors like poverty, domestic violence, depression, among many, are some of major causes of drugs abuse today. Individual members of society have a great role to play since these youth are raised among them.
There is a gang leader of an armed bandit in one of the areas in Kano. I took him back to school until he memorizes the Quran. And he used to be very dangerous. They could cut down anyone. They always shout as I pass by. Sometimes all they want is to be listened to and to solve their problem as much as you can. When you command them, therefore, they will listen. And no matter what violence they are creating, they stop upon seeing you. But as it is, nobody cares about them. Everyone calls them, and many cease association with them. As long as we continue in that way, we will suffer the more their troubles.
Through such forms of interventions, a number of drug addicts have been rehabilitated. Abubakar Haruna, a young man of an average age, and his friends, who were sometimes into hard drugs, now not only rehabilitated, but fully giving back to society.
Indeed now, my life differs a lot from what it was. We have achieved greatly. I am now into 9 years wearing uniform. I was a cadet officer then. We created a lot of troubles. But because of the uniform, we are no more into that. Now, I am in so much love with the uniform to give my contribution to the society.
Kano Emirate is one of the longest standing seat of power in the whole of West African sub-region. For more than 5 centuries ago, very little has changed as far as rich cultural practices and heritage that everyone here is proud of. Gidarumpa, as the household is popularly called, sit on about 10 hectares of land and compose of 8 royal courts in Hausa called Fada. For the first-time visitor to the palace, the traditional designs on the walls will merely connote beauty, but it is much more than that.
It connotes many things. It depends on the place. Sometimes it's a history, just like murals on the wall. You will see the sword, the knife, the calabash, this and that, and you see the geometric design, the star. You know, most of the design are out of the star formation, you know, as it is in geometry. And then that star is very important astrologically because normally it's a northern star, which is part of the ruler, is guided by one of the ruling stars, Zuhal in Arabic, they call it Zuhal.
Formation of Emir's collection of regalia is remarkable. The colorful designs on the flying gown called Babariga means a lot.
There is a flying gown, Babariga, that has a decoration called 2 knives. The 2 knives is a sword used during the lifetime of the prophet. So it signifies, it has some meaning to it.
It's history.
Yes. And there is magic square. You see about 5 boxes, which if you cycle them, it will give you 3 by 3 matrix. It's a magic square.
It will interest you to know that even the process of sewing this regalia requires specific times and conditions.
In fact, even the time upon which they will start sewing the gown, they have to consider good time astrologically with sort of incantation or recitation of the verses or the names of Allah. So it is not only for, in fact, it is more for protection than aesthetics.
The turban itself tells who the bearer is.
This kind of turban tells you this is an imam, or this is a prince, or this is a title holder, and that. Anybody you see with 2 rabbit ear on his turban is a princely title holder or even the emir.
One unique, valuable object of culture is a twin spear, which is peculiar to the Emir of Kano.
It is only the emir that uses the twin spears. He's the only one that wears the ostrich feather shoe. So he's the only one that uses bow and arrow to walk around.
Other symbols such as trumpets and drums are mainly for communication purpose.
The title of Eze Ndibo testifies the presence of Igbo people in Kano. It is also a suggestion that, as diverse as Nigerian tribes, cultural appreciation could give way to tolerance and harmony. Igbo's presence is adequately felt here. In this palace of Igwe in Kano, one assumes he is in Igbo land.
We have an association called Non-Indigens here. When the former governor came in, he said it's not acceptable to him that we are all one. That we should change it. That you cannot say we are non-indigenous in Kano, as far as we are Nigerians. And we thought he didn't mean it. Then we now move ahead and change it to ethnic.
Specific features makes Igwe's palace uniquely attributed to him. Although there is no regard to particular color, Igwe's regalia are of many types and for different outings and events.
In terms of clothes, we celebrate Ofala. That is yearly events, signifying the number of years you have been on the throne. We have a special regalia for that. And occasions also has its own. Then having meetings with your cabinet members also has its own. If you are a Igwe, your cap will be different from a chief. It cannot be the same with chief because it's the Igwe, the Eze that crowns chiefs. That's why you see red caps of so many Igbo indigenes who are prominent Igbo men.
The seats, specially made for Igwe, bear symbol of lions, beautifully decorated to indicate being a warrior.
Initially, before you become a king, you must be a conqueror. And a lion is you know what lion means. So for somebody to sit on this type of seat, he's a warrior.
In most occasions, Igwe is noticed as holding a staff as a symbol of authority.
I have the bigger one. Those ones are there. But those are the things to confirm that you are. But if you look at my picture there, you will see it, the one I'm standing with. That is the staff of office. We have our tradition in the East, which we are representing here. And for us being the Ezes outside Igbo land, is to let our people, our children, know of our culture, because so many Igbos were outside.
A visit to this palace, beads treatment on Igwe's neck, is obviously among the aesthetics royal items that grace every visitor.
In virtually all places, marriage remains the only union that legalizes cohabitation of man and woman in which procreation happens. Even though marriage is among universal cultures, the way and manner it is being conducted vary from one culture to another. Some years back, in most part of northern Nigeria, wedding ceremonies and processes were merely simple in the way it attracts resources. Essential event such as wedding prayer is to hold in bride's home, while reception used to take place in any available spacious venue to dine and wine with friends and relatives.
In the years before now, we need few representatives of both families, and they come. The marriage is contracted based on is a ritual.
Today, a lot of things away from the northern culture, things that have tendency to demand a lot of financial resources, have been injected into wedding.
Somehow we now focus more on the wedding. Before the marriage, you have the mother's night. I don't know if there's the father's night. I know there's the Arabian night. I know there is a lot of activities. Bachelor's night, bachelor's eve, sprints, a lot of them. Wallahi, a lot. And you know, it's burden. You need the hall, you need refreshment, you need to organize, you need to manage a lot of people, and a lot of monies go.
By implication, these expenses impacted strongly on all classes of people.
That is why you have many able men and women not married, and they want to get married. But these additional appendage being placed on weddings have made it inaccessible.
If you look at the amount of money that people are spending on such activities is huge. And as well, the type of things that the groom is taking to the bride's house, if you look at, if they are showing all those things, you see that the life is getting another thing entirely.
Many people believe that the intrusion of these new cultures has overall implications on the survival of most marriages being contracted today.
I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store.
Normally, you know, before, all these things, they are not in our culture. Like here, yes, like here now. Nobody is even supposed to see the bride safe. But now, the brides are even coming out, even they dance together with the in-laws in public together, and nobody is looking at that as anything. Understand? And even wearing a wedding gown, which is not part of our culture.
If care is not taken, even before the marriage is being contracted, by the time of this leafy and what have you, you see some frictions will begin to show themselves, either among the couples or among the parents of the couples, or sometimes even the combination of both.
If that money used can be given to the groom and the bride to sustain themselves, they can spend the money for the whole year.
All these unnecessarily additions to weddings, let's push them aside. Let's look at the quality. Let's look at the probability to be matched.
Leather industry in Kano is as old as the beginning of the Hausa civilization. Spanning over 1,000 of years, the industry supplied leather materials to the hinterland and also served as a major trade link between Kano and other parts of the world through transparent trade. It flourished for many years and served as an essential economic mainstay of the Hausa land. In Kano today, few tanneries struggle to operate at a capacity quite inadequate to feed the local leather industries, and this has no doubt stunted their growth not only in Kano but other parts of Nigeria.
This is Majema local leather industry or traditional leather industry in Kofar Wambai area of the city of Kano. This place is believed to have existed for over 90 years. It is indeed a heaven for different categories of people, irrespective of their ages.
We grew up into the business of tanning, which we inherited from our forefathers. I think this place is over 80 years. And for how long have you been into this trade? I've been into this trade for approximately 50 years.
As you can see, all activities to do with leather processing is being carried out here.
I happen to see myself in this trade. My parents and their parents were also in the occupation. At least, I have spent over 15 years working here. I tanned a specific leather called tundra, a skin of python, just like this one. I also operate on skin of crocodile and goats, among many others.
In spite of the serious decline in its operations and profitability across the value chain, some business people in Kano still see prospect in leather business and are determined to stay in it.
So now we increase the capacity. Instead for 15,000 a day, we make it as 30,000 pieces. That's our capacity for right now. But we have the plan to increase more, to make it like 50 to 60,000 pieces a day.
When we receive the raw skins, we are going to grade the skins by size. After that, we are going to trim. We want to make the skin to be shaped from the starting stage itself. From there, we will take the skin to the process so that the bacteria will put some chemicals to avoid the bacteria so that the skins will not spoil.
One cannot overemphasize the value this industry adds to the economy, and it is worrisome that this once highly prosperous industry will be allowed to decay.
Well, you can see how many people you employ here. Before, some people here is not more than 200 people are working in this. Now we have more than 500 people, and we want to increase our capacity. We need more people again.
For the leather industry to strive, government must invest substantially in the local content and re-emphasize on policies that encourage all players in the industry.
In our societies today, many marriage relationships are unstable. Increasingly, a lot of crises are being experienced in many married homes due to a number of reasons. Marriages are contracted not based on love, understanding, and compatibility, and a lot more.
To me, marriage has its own pillars or building blocks, such as love, care, endurance, truthfulness, trust, forgiveness, contentment, sympathy, respect, and for the wife, obedient to her husband. But nowadays it's not like that.
You are expected, when you come together, to live in peace, to live in happiness, to have joy, and also to have the gift of procreation, and also to live your lives until the end of time. But many people just take the issue of marriage casually, and once you don't attach that importance it deserves, then there's going to be a problem.
Our elders don't even know that themselves, but they respected each other. When they say you are going to marry that person, they even were even too shy to even go to their quarters or even just pass through their ways. But today, that modesty has gone.
Other marriages are not stable simply because the partners could not agree to a dialogue between themselves. However, each stands firm to his contradicting points. There are opinions as to who should be involved in a dialogue between married couple, with some strongly believe that third party should not be involved for the sake of privacy. Others believe that couples' biological parents may have tendency to take side and compound the problem.
This is my own view. They should solve their problems by themselves. And if they can't, then from there they will seek for counseling or parents' guidance. Don't involve your parents, because some parents will be selfish. They will look the other side, or they will back the other side.
There are some established marriage counseling centers privately, and I'm sure they came up to complement the efforts the malams, the clerics are doing through their sermons and through their preaching, to bring order for the couples to understand what marriage is all about. So it is important that once you are getting married, you have to have full understanding of what you are getting into.
Marriage there must be a wali, and a wali means a guardian. He even said that do not marry a woman that do not have someone that can tell her to stop, and she will stop ultimately. Uncles that are at least a little bigger than the father, someone who can listen to his voice, someone who can listen to what he says is really a command.
Here in Kano, Hizbah Commission, among their many other schedules, resolves family-related cases on a daily basis.
That is why sometimes a case that should be tackled in 10 minutes at home extends beyond that, because the couple married without getting to know each other's attitude. I tend to blame the parents the more, because they do not give them proper training.
It is of the belief that respect for each other, understanding, readiness to accept weaknesses of each other should be among other virtues to consider since at the courtship level. As they begin to build their marital life also, couples need to remain together in the interest of their offsprings.
During an award night in 2021 Workers' Day in Kano, the then Governor Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje approved the increase in retirement age of teachers to 65 years. This he does in response to federal government similar gesture.
In Nigeria, people want more years, isn't it? You know why they ask for more years? Because life here is very difficult. If you can survive here, you can survive anywhere. I don't blame them. The thing I pray for is hope that by the time they get to that years, they will still have the energy to work.
I'm not in support of that. I am of the opinion that it is better when you are 60 years of age, or you have reached 35 years in the service, you quit and allow the younger generation, to get the remaining opportunity.
Based on the experiences of some retirees in the state, there is every reason to experience fears of where and how to start after retirement.
You have to make a plan because you are venturing into a new life. Venturing into a new life in the sense that you are losing your previous position, previous status, and previous stand into a new one entirely.
So the implication is life will not be the same as when you are under employment. So it is going to be prepared for well before the time comes.
Issues such as I don't have capital, I don't have idea of any business, and lots more keep disturbing many people that are at the verge of retirement.
Because you see them going to offices, going to your houses, borrowing, asking for this, asking for help, this and that, because they have misused their retirement benefits.
There are instances of workers experiencing one problem or the other, of health or depression as a result of such situation.
Some will start looking for, a house to live. And because I retired probably as a director or as a PAMSEC, I have to, look for a house befitting to me. So they will end up, renting even the house. And when that rent expires, They have nowhere to go.
On the contrary, those workers that in one way or the other have alternative sources of income after salary might prefer retirement life than the work life.
There shouldn't be emphasis on, young men and women to go for government job. They are supposed to be encouraged, to get self-employed, get, what they can do so that eventually they too can become employers of labor.
Civil servants in Nigeria, they have to look what is happening or what is going to happen after the retirement. They have to plan. We have different sectors in the business. We have agriculture and we have fashion designs. We have a lot.
You start as civil servant on grade level, say 8 after your degree. That's where you start. Yeah. Now, gradually you will go to grade level 10, 12, up to 17. Or even if you are lucky, you go somewhere, they give you bigger position without any grade. Now, the higher you go, the hotter it becomes. The higher you go, the more responsibility you get, the more you think of your job, not of yourself or your family.
If you are a civil servant, my advice is that one should start preparing for his retirement immediately he joins the service.
Some believe that workers in Nigeria need to use their extra time to build a business, nurture it, to grow patiently towards a joyous retirement life.
The Nigerian employment market is changing rapidly, with heavy reliance now on talents and skills. Some of the more prominent ones are bricklaying and tiling, especially with the boom in the building industry and modernization of same. Sadi Musa is a bricklayer engaged in the business of building. We caught him at site in the process of doing his business. He gave us a background on how he learned the skill and how he applies it.
I started this work 20 to 25 years ago. I started odd jobs where I met my mentor. He is late now. He took me under his wing, and I started as a laborer, where you mix cement and give bricklayer to lay blocks. I decided since I am earning from this occupation, I should learn it, so that as I am working for my boss, others will work for me also. I put my mind to it and learn the skills up to where I am today. We are still benefiting from it.
Another aspect in building is convenience and beautification of the properties. Tiling is one of such, and a specialized skill at that. Abubakar Adamu, a tiler, educates us on how he learned his skill and how he applies it.
We learn tiling work by having interest and putting our minds to it. While learning, there are challenges. Your boss will give you tasks. Some you like them, and some you didn't. One will do them if he wants to learn the occupation. Our choice was to learn the skills and not how much money you will make. I did not inherit the skills, but I liked the work and I wanted to learn. In the first place, you will be taught how to measure meters. If you learn that, you can be sent to measure meters anywhere. To measure tiles, if you measure 10 meters, you will make it 11 to 12 meters. Some tiles are not up to a meter. Also, some are already broken in the cutter. I have been up to 10 years in this profession. I mentored many.
Degrees are important, but so are skills and talents. They allow you to interpret and manifest what your education has taught you.
Loitering under intense sun and sometimes heavy downpour raises so many questions about their mental and moral health.